breathtaking. You have a lot of fond memories of your dad here.
Right, I do.
After Melissa Moore's parents got divorced, her dad, that long-haul trucker, still made an effort to visit. Summer meant precious time together.
You know, I was amazed at over your lifetime how often he wanted to come to see you. I mean, he wanted to be a dad.
He really did.
Keith Jasperson grew up in British Columbia, Canada, the middle child of 5. He'd always loved camping and the outdoors. Later, when he would take his own children to Oregon's Multnomah Falls, Melissa says it brought out the kid in him.
He'd swim right in here, he'd go under the waterfall, and he would just have fun, laughing, and like nobody was around.
But back on the road, conversations sometimes veered to the grotesque, which Melissa wrote off as fantasy.
One time, as we're driving up the old scenic highway, my father said, "I know how to kill someone and get away with it." So I thought maybe the detective magazines was something he's really into, the forensics and crime, maybe he's into that.
Though she had no idea at the time, turns out what he was talking about was an actual murder, one he had just committed.
The same route that we would take going to the Oregon coast is where he disposed the first victim, just this way over that direction.
Melissa's dad, Keith Hunter Jasperson, is currently serving 3 life sentences in Oregon State Penitentiary. Prison officials will not allow Jasperson to conduct face-to-face interviews because they say he relishes the attention too much. But we did speak with him numerous times by phone in 2010.
What happened with the first murder?
I picked up a woman at a bar, took her home.
The conversations, extremely candid, full of disturbing details. A killer, in his own words, tells us how and why he committed the first of his grisly murders in January 1990, the very same year his divorce to Melissa's mom was finalized.
We were drinking beer a lot that day.
The woman he met in a Portland area bar was a 23-year-old named Tanya Bennett, described by family as overtly friendly and developmentally slow.
Took her home. I thought I was going to get lucky.
After a night of heavy drinking, the two left the bar and headed back to Jasperson's suburban red brick home, where he lured her and attempted to have sex.
Comments were made and different things, and an altercation happened, and I struck her. I actually had hit her in the face, and for some reason, I just kept on hitting her in the face, and because of that, I feared going to prison for slugging her in the face and causing bodily injury, and so I killed her.
You meant to kill her?
Oh, yes, I did. I meant to kill her to cover up the assault.
You say it very matter-of-factly, with no remorse or hint of remorse.
It is matter of fact, that's what it is.
After strangling Bennett with his bare hands, Jasperson left her lifeless body behind and returned to the bar to coldly continue drinking and establish an alibi. He then drove the body up the old scenic highway and dumped it in the dense brush just miles from where he and his children liked to frolic in those waterfalls.
I put the body up there in the Columbia River Gorge. I had tied a rope around its neck, mostly I didn't know how the body reacted when you started moving it.
Days later, Bennett's body was discovered, but Jasperson would not become a suspect. And this is where the story takes a strange turn. Out of the blue, a total stranger comes forward to take credit for the crime with a bizarre false confession. This woman tries to frame her abusive boyfriend, telling police he murdered Tanya Bennett, using details of the crime from newspaper reports. Detective Rick Buckner investigated the case.
She actually went so far as to buy a purse and put it in the trunk of John's car, claiming it was Tanya Bennett's.
Having incriminated herself, she now faced prison for something she had nothing to do with.
We had people in custody for a crime they didn't commit.
Meanwhile, the real killer is frustrated and envious of all the attention the pair is receiving for his crime.
I was puzzled. Let's say it was something that just caught me kind of like off guard, especially when I heard that one had confessed to it.
So back on the road, in a rest stop bathroom, he scribbles on the wall. January 21, 1990. Killed Tanya Bennett in Portland. 2 people got the blame, so I can kill again. And he did. 2 years later, he embarked on a killing spree.
What about Lori Ann Pentland?
Yes, I did kill her. Yeah. Her attitude was like her life was all hell and she didn't want to be around, and she wanted me to feel sorry for her, and I just, well, you know, I can kill you and put you out of your misery, and she said go for it, so I did.
She asked you to kill her?
Well, I told her that, you know, if your life's so bad, why don't you just end it?
He recounts the details of his crimes with a chilling lack of emotion. There was Cynthia Rose.
You killed her over a parking spot?
Yes, I did. It was supposed to be a parking spot.
Number 5 and 6 were Jane Doe's. In 1995, number 7, Angela Sabrese. Killing her, it seems, wasn't enough.
Is she the victim that you tied under the truck?
Yes, she is, yeah.
Why did you do that?
I felt that by dragging her under the truck, that I would destroy all evidence of who her identity was.
Did you choke all of the women?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Why did you choke them?
That's what I had done with the first one, so I never changed. It worked the first time, so I went to the second and third, fourth and fifth, sixth and seventh.
It is so gruesome what you're describing. I mean, there's a possibility that these people's family members might be listening to you describing this.
I'm sorry it happened. Wish it never happened. And can we move on?
Can we move on?
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, it's done, it's over with.
How would you feel if somebody did this to your daughter?
Well, I would probably search him down and kill him. Yes, I'd like to go back in time and change it and make it all go away and make it all peaches and cream again, but I can't do that. At the time, I could justify each and every one of those murders, and at this time, I cannot.